One of the biggest issues I had with The Rise of Skywalker was the revelation that Rey was the granddaughter of the Emperor. I really liked the message that Rian Johnson was trying to deliver in The Last Jedi, that it doesn't matter where you come from or who your parents were, you can still be a powerful force for good. I never needed any kind of explanation for why Rey was so strong in the Force. I never felt like it went against anything that we've ever heard about the Force in the other movies, so for me, the revelation that Rey was a Palpatine fell kind of flat. But as I've sat with it for a couple months now, I still think it's a little silly and unnecessary, but I don't think it negates what's most important to me, and that is the initial message of The Last Jedi, that it doesn't matter where you come from or who your parents are, you can still be a powerful force for good. I think by the end of The Last Jedi, Rey has learned that lesson. She fully believes that she comes from nobody important, but she no longer believes that she is nobody. She believes that she does have a place in this story. I also think that the mirror cave on Ahch-To is trying to tell her she puts way too much stock in her lineage. She asks to see her parents, and the mirror just shows her her own reflection, because she raised herself. All of her values come from her, and as far as we can tell, Rey is a good person. We also have the end scene of The Last Jedi. Temiri Blagg, also known as Broom Boy, has the Force, and he dreams of adventure and faraway places, and I believe that one day he will find it. I have to imagine that he's not also some descendant of Palpatine. Most Jedi didn't come from some long line of powerful Force users, they were just random people with an innate connection to the Force. I think the Broom Boy scene is meant to show us that it's not just Luke, it's not just Rey that has this power, it's also people like Temiri Blagg. What I'm getting at is that just because Rey is a Palpatine, that doesn't mean that it negates the message of anyone and everyone having the ability inside of them to make the world a better place. In fact, I think that's exactly the message that JJ was going for, just in a different way. Like, okay Rey, you've accepted that you can come from nobody and be good, but what if you came from the worst person imaginable? What if the source of your power were evil incarnate and you could inherit all that and more? How much does being good matter to you now? So I can still see how The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker are reinforcing the same message. But I still feel this kind of tug-of-war between the two, like Rian Johnson said it one way and then JJ was like, no, I want to say it my way. I still feel that, but at least the two don't cancel each other out. This all comes down to my main gripe with the sequel trilogy, which I did overall enjoy, but I think that having one unified vision really would have helped things. If JJ oversaw the entire story from start to finish, I think Rey Palpatine would have landed a lot better. Or if they had stuck with the Rey Nobody thing that The Last Jedi set up, then The Rise of Skywalker, or whatever third film came next, could have had a message of its own instead of reiterating the same thing. I don't think I'm ever going to love Rey Palpatine because I'm always going to remember basically deflating in my seat the first time I heard it on screen, but I do want to say that I can at least get on board with the message. Whether or not you prefer the way it was presented in The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker, whether or not someone feels like they came from nobody or they feel like they came from the worst people imaginable, it doesn't matter. You can forge your own destiny and be a powerful force for good. And that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.